That's probably what set the tone and made him maybe not want to punch. Because I always say, if anybody listen to me, I always tell you, power is what make you, not fight like you fight. You understand what I'm saying? I would. You just actually just made me think about that. So that might have been what it was that had him not wanting to punch. That might have been what it was that had him not wanting to throw like he threw or whatever else. Because after the knockdown, after that round, I felt like he was fine. Like he was the same. Talking to him in the corner, he was alert. He could do the things he could do or whatever else. Like I said, to me, it just wasn't firing on the cylinders. Maybe somewhere in the back of his mind, the knockdown got to him. I don't know. But as far as the fight itself, after the knockdown, I think he was fine. Absolutely, he was a lot better than what I thought he would be. He was a lot stronger than I thought he would be. He was yeah, he was a lot better than I thought he would be.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, and I'm back at y'all with another one. So, you just heard father trainer of former WBO welterweight world champion, star boxer, who is still on the verge, in my opinion, of becoming a superstar, in Brian Norman Sr. and Brian Norman Jr. Brian Norman Jr. is now 28 wins, 1 loss, no draw, 22 wins by way of knockout. And he fought against now the undefeated 3-division world champion, former undisputed lightweight, former WBC junior welterweight, and now currently the WBO welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, Devin the Dream Haney, who is now 33 wins, no losses, no draw, 15 wins by way of knockout. And shouts out to Brian Norman Sr. and shouts out to Brian Norman Jr., okay? Like I said, for all the people that were supporting him going into the Devin Haney fight, you need to be supporting him now. He got dominated tonight. But shouts out to Brian Norman Sr. and Jr. because they just keep it 100. I don't know if it's just the Southern hospitality. They just keep it 100. So, as you heard Senior say, his son, after the second round, he got dropped in the second round with a ridiculous left hook that had him on noodle legs, followed by a right hook, a jab, then a right hook that put him down. And Devin Haney was all over him. And Devin Haney has been considered pillow-fisted, can't punch himself out of wet paper bag. He's boring. He's this, he's that. So many labels that's attached to Devin Haney. But the biggest one is that he can't punch and he don't got a chin. And getting in the ring with the biggest puncher at welterweight, Brian Norman, who was a highlight reel knockout artist, and to not being able to punch and keep Brian Norman off of him, that Brian Norman was going to answer all these questions. And he did. Devin Haney took left hooks from Brian Norman. Devin Haney dropped Brian Norman. So he answered the question. He got a chin and he could punch. He put Regis Prograis down just like he put Brian Norman down. And you can see moments where Devin Haney could have stepped on the gas. But as you heard Senior state, he's way better than I thought he was. He's way stronger than I thought he was. And he hits harder than I thought he did. And he stated that's probably more than likely the reason why my son wasn't aggressive from that moment forward. And like I say with Floyd Mayweather, because people always say Floyd Mayweather can't punch. You never see nobody attempt to walk through Floyd Mayweather. Just like you never see nobody attempt to walk through Devin Haney. If they can't punch, then why doesn't people walk through them? Because that's a lie. Okay? It is just simply, plain and simple, what it is it's an agenda against Devin Haney. It's a narrative. It's not true. He's a defensive-minded, slick fighter, yes. But he can punch when he wants to. He has knockout of the year. You don't get knockout of the year if you can't punch at all. Maybe did anybody take it into consideration? He just don't sit down on his punches all the time. When he does, every time he hit Brian Norman with clean punches tonight, he wobbled his legs. And like Senior said, that is the indication that why Brian Norman wasn't letting his hands go and wasn't as aggressive as they used to him being. Period. Okay? Why? Because Devin Haney hits harder than what's being told, than what the narrative is. And so when Devin Haney says stuff like, if you get out of line, I'm gonna put you in line, he shows you. It's not that's not his number one agenda. That's not his go-to. His go-to is to box you. I'll box you. But if you make a mistake, he will make you pay. You saw in the Ryan Garcia fight, Ryan Garcia was hurt multiple times. It's just that the knockdowns, the 3 knockdowns was so dramatic from Ryan Garcia, it overshadowed everything else. Period. But shouts out to Brian Norman Jr. and shouts out to Brian Norman Sr. They kept it 100. Right? And shouts out to Devin Haney for becoming a 3-division champion. This entire card was surrounded about Devin Haney. Period. And he answered all the questions. That's it. That's all. On to the next. And I still think Brian Norman beats everybody else. Everybody else can't defend Brian Norman's punches. Everybody else in the welterweight division can't stay away from Brian Norman's power. They ain't going to do it. They're not slick enough. They're reactive enough. Devin Haney's reflexes and his reactions was top notch tonight. Will I say this the best version of Devin Haney I saw? No. The best version I saw of Devin Haney was Jorge Linares' fight. That was the best version of Devin Haney I seen. And I believe he could have duplicated that against Regis Prograis and against Brian Norman tonight. He just didn't. Because they have power, and I think was just cautious of that. Period. But let's see what happens moving forward. I still think Brian Norman beats Rolly Romero, Mario Barrios. You know what I'm saying? I still think he beats pretty much every welterweight out there. I don't think there's a welterweight that's going to beat Brian Norman other than Devin Haney because of styles matchup. Styles make fights. Period. Now, you're going to get a lot of people that say Brian Norman now they're going to downplay him. As I told you guys, watch how everybody jump off the bandwagon because they're not Brian Norman fans, they're Devin Haney detractors. So everybody's going to jump off the bandwagon and tell you how limited he is, how he make no adjustments, how unskilled he is, how one-dimensional he is. They're going to go on and on and on because they were never Brian Norman fans. Brian Norman is a great fighter, and guess what? All those other fighters at welterweight, they ain't going to beat, it ain't going to look like that. Styles make fights, period. And that's all I got for y'all. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, or one word. Let's listen to Brian Norman Sr. once again as we close out.
That's probably what set the tone that made him maybe not want to punch. Because I always say, if anybody listen to me, I always tell you, power is what make you, not fight like you fight. You understand what I'm saying? You just made me think about that. So that might have been what it was that had him not wanting to punch. That might have been what it was that had him not wanting to throw like he threw or whatever else. Because after the knockdown, after that round, I felt like he was fine. Like he was the same. Talking to him in the corner, he was alert. He could do the things he could do or whatever else. Like I said, to me, it just wasn't firing on the cylinders. Maybe somewhere in the back of his mind, the knockdown got to him. I don't know. But as far as the fight itself, after the knockdown, I think he was fine. Absolutely. He was a lot better than what I thought he would be. He was a lot stronger than I thought he would be. He was, he was a lot better than I thought he would be.
And I'm gone. Peace.